hear the sweet, sweet game sound. He just gets to hear my voice. So
I like to, make it up in my head. It makes the game way better,
yeah,
in my opinion.
generally improves the gameplay.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, hopefully the game sound is coming through okay here. I'm not hearing it for whatever reason. Make sure that the sound settings are correct here. So hopefully the game sound will be working alright. I think it's just quiet. Compared to us, we're just so loud. So, we are going to start here on Oregon on the laundry supply room. So, I mean, do you think that is kindly the current meta just because of glass and things like that, or?
Yeah, I mean, it's the relatively standard start. You're either going to start here or you're going to start upstairs in the kid's bedroom. And, I mean, this is exactly what I would expect to see. This is by and far the most common, not only bomb site, but also loadout for both teams, with the attacking going Glass, Capital, Habana, Sledge, Thatcher. Very, very standard. What they're going to be looking to do here is they're going to be opening up the hatch, and then they will be using the fire arrows from Capital to go ahead and prevent the Habana or the smoke from peeking the mirror window. I'm going to assume that they're going to go for a double mirror here. I can't really tell yet, but it's very standard for a double mirror setup to be done there. Now, they haven't done that there, so one of the biggest risks right here in him not doing a double mirror setup, but rather doing a mirror wood wall, is that the other team has a glass. And as we all know, glass does immense environmental damage and will easily be able to rip open that wall. And is that mirror already open, or is that a visual bug?
Look at the first person. There we go. You can see
okay.
It is closed. Yeah, it is hard to tell with the spectator cam unless you're in first person.
Okay, well then, yeah, I would say the biggest danger for Crusher here is going to be that they're going to be setting up a glass up there, and that glass is going to be able to team up with the Capital to provide hardcore shutdown
of the bandit to start with.
Yep.
He's got one more to find there in
one of the two roamers too.
Yeah. So that is the typical combo, right, of Bandit and Jaeger. Jaeger here going to be spotted out, though. That's Santa getting caught. Now the Beastly's here to help him, like, pinch on him. It's going to be hard for him to, unless he rolls back. Let's see if he's going to rotate back the sight here. No, he's going to actually stick it, but near the hatch so he can drop if needed. But dropping doesn't necessarily save you from Glass's bullet.
Yeah, right here, honestly, the attackers don't have to do too much. By losing a defender, or by losing one of your roamers within the first, 30 seconds to a minute of the round is a heavy, heavy loss. And now all you have is just merely the Jaeger. And for the most part, they don't really have to do much. They just have to sit here and wait it out. And now as we see, we're going to go ahead and he's going to smoke off right in front. Glass should come around and start opening up the remainder of that. Well, actually, he's actually crawling right down the stairs.
Oh, there we go. I realized the Skype modified the game. So I'll turn that down a little bit now. So he's almost got the mirror. There goes the mirror down. Just like you were saying, using that fire, the risk of having that open there. Catch this. Drunner taking quite a bit of damage as well. It is all down to 3 defenders versus 5 attackers here. Not looking good at all for them. After that initial loss and then the loss of Mira, they're going to be able to start pushing down the stairs. You got Glass working his way down. Smoke's starting to come out. He's still got 2 left. They may have more smoke
from
the other attackers.
And even more so, I mean, this is essentially a 4v2 because they just have to have the Sledge upstairs just watching that and just watching the rotation out of Meeting Hall. And as he just got the pick, so 5v2, very, very in favor of the attackers.
But the attempted fledge from behind gets caught out by Trippin. It is now down to just Trippin himself. The invisible gun to try and stop 3 attackers, but it's not going to happen. There's another Glass kill on the board. That was a fairly easy win for them for the most part. I mean, they lost a few guys trying to get that pinch going. But once they were in full swing, like you said, that weakness from that wall being open right there, you even saw it in the final kill, just makes a huge difference in terms of that Glass being just able to penetrate through that wall.
Right. I mean, I feel like to a certain extent that would have happened even if they did the double mirror window there, because he managed to die to the Capital fire arrow. Now, normally the fire arrow just results in someone being pushed away, not too much of an actual death to it. So that is kind of a surprise to me that it ended up going that way. But yeah, the attacking team came through, cleared out the defenders inside of meeting. I'm surprised we didn't see anyone go up through attic, especially with that sledge, to go ahead and take out the 2 defenders that were playing in there. Always really great to put pressure there.
Now we are seeing them change their mind in how they want to play it. They're starting upstairs. They realize, hey, we can attack the hell out of the downstairs. Why don't we go upstairs? Because we know how weak the downstairs can be. Obviously, they're kind of playing against themselves in that sense. But there is a glass on the other team, so I guess the question is, is that going to be crucial? We usually see him playing on this window, for example, or even sometimes he can play up and around over here to try and take some shots through these windows to help out, or take some shots through the attic because you can see a little bit easier in there. What do you think they're going to play in terms of how they're going to attack this?
Well, yeah, I mean, one of the biggest questions that we have here is, are they going to go for the very standard attack, which is throwing typically like the glass or 1 player on the big window and have 2 people repel with the remainders watching the flank? Now, all of them spawning construction makes me think that, yes, they're going to go ahead and try and take Watchtower, and then once that's cleared, you know that you can't be shot in the back when you're rappelling on the kids' bedroom windows. So I fully expect to see that, since they didn't spawn in the southeast corner of the map and come up to try and do an armory push through the master bedroom. It definitely seems like they're going to be instead trying to do a kid's bedroom take. It's all going to be in how they manage to clear out the players that are downstairs currently, and if they can manage to keep them from running out on their players.
Now you see downstairs they've actually set up mirror windows, reinforced walls, and castle barricades. They've basically just sealed themselves in here with only one way out through the bathroom. So the question is, can Strata stay alive long enough? Obviously, like you said, you want them to be able to hold this kitchen here, because if they're going for a kitchen or a bedroom take, they're going to want to blow up below here, right? So they can stop anyone from hanging out inside. So in this case,
I mean, absolutely. Absolutely. The biggest danger right now is that with this setup, that's at least a minimum 6-second rotation for the castle and the Valkyrie to get upstairs. And with Glass holding off the only way into kid's bedroom, and not all of the holes underneath the windows actually opened up, it seems somewhat likely that the attackers are going to go ahead and get this one already.
Yeah, we've already got Biologic down and bleeding out. They don't seem brave enough to come rescue him. They don't have a rotate hole through here. I mean, it looks like Beastly should be able to get him, but doesn't have a way to get through the wall. But he wishes he was Doc at this point.
Right, a bit of a mistake to not open up the wall at least enough to crawl through. They did just a hip level horizontal hole, and if that hole was there for them to crawl through, they could be a player up.
Now it looks like Droner could be the one to go for that kitchen push here. Might catch Valkyrie or Strata from behind, but is playing it very cautious. We do want to be able to take there. Usually Ash is going to be playing a lot more aggressive than this, but he's definitely concerned about that meeting hall as well. Let's take a look at who's he's up there. No, I'm focused on at this point.
Right, his team definitely should have called out that it is currently clear, so he shouldn't have to be looking at it.
Biologic did get picked up though, which is good, because now he's using those smokes to try and delay them from getting in there. So this is definitely paying off, but they were able to give up. But Santa's going to be able to use that smoke as well to take shots through there if he peeks out too far. Nifty in the meantime catching one though. That's the Habanagon. Hopefully they got all the use out of that Habana they needed, because he is now dead. King Leo though trading it back onto Blood and Glory, and then Beastly trading it back once more. So that is Valkyrie down, so they are making progress downstairs. Droner getting killed. They lost that progress. Strata managing to hold off King Leo. Downstairs it'll fall down to these last 2 attackers. Santa jumping right into the smoke. You're going to take a ton of damage. And then Biologic finishing off Crusher means it's all on Santa here. He's going to try and push it through, but he doesn't even have the diffuser, I don't think, at this point. Not going to do any good as they fail to attack. So that is 2 on the board now for the Infamy guys.
I gotta say, I'm really surprised that round went that way. They had Biologic down early on in the round, and they had a lot of control all through Watchtower and had control over Attic. With all of those things combined, that should have led to them, with the addition of no one playing actually in kid's bedroom, 2 people downstairs, not a pulse, that should have been a relatively quick take for the attackers for them to repel inside on the right side where the floor was undamaged, with Biologics already down and Glass in the main window. That should have been a pretty cut and dry push by the attacking team. So to see Roger Dodger fall like that after having such a quick advantage is, I mean, it's a bit of a surprise, I guess. I don't know. I'm kind of disappointed to see that they didn't take advantage of the situation when they had it. They let it just get away from them.
Well, now we're going to see a second attempt here to defend downstairs. after failing the previous time. Do you think that's smart at this point? I mean, it didn't work out. Obviously, they can make some adjustments, but I don't see reinforcements going down on that other wall. That was kind of their, you know, there was their Achilles heel essentially last round. I don't know. It's gonna be a mistake. Let's see here. Still there, Remorse?
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm sorry. I'm trying to see where they were setting up in the watchtower. I noticed that there's, or at least I thought that Trippin may have been playing up on the watchtower stairs for a second there.
Just trying to adjust your mic levels as well. Looks like they're actually trying to hold meeting hall again.
Yeah, and actually, I think Trippin's on the second floor of watchtower right now as smoke.
There we go. That could work if he's not droned out.
Right, I mean, but to a certain extent, you have to ask, why put the smoke there? Why
yeah, definitely not a good choice.
Why not have the Jaeger or the Bandit play up there? Because losing smoke on Oregon downstairs hold is so huge. He offers so much control over the map, and it's a bit of a risky play on their part.
Well, he hasn't died yet and has made it at least back to site, but yeah, that is definitely risky. It's kind of a big deal in terms of losing that. Then, I mean, they already lost a lot of pressure last time, losing the mirror there. Losing the smoke, I think, would be pretty much death at this point. Right.
I mean, a risky play. I mean, thankfully he got away from it, but they didn't really gain anything out of it either. They just kind of wasted time.
Speaking of that, they set up for this meeting hall defense and then just rotated back. Like, they didn't do any damage. They didn't really burn up a whole lot of time. They pretty much gave up.
And they weren't even pressured.
Yeah.
So now you have 4 people playing inside of this one bomb site, which is going, and they haven't put damage down on the attackers. The attackers weren't delayed that much. There's a minute 20. Hatches are open. They just need to blow the lobby hatch and then go ahead and push through. So, but that being said, the lobby hatch still isn't opened up, and
but they gave them these hatches for free. Like, they gave them these meeting hall hatches, and they're just using them to attack now. Ooh, there's King Leo, though, with the starting it off, but Beastly trades it with a grenade. And that was actually a double KO thanks to the delay from that grenade. That worked out in their favor here. Santa trying to watch these backstairs, but the pressure's coming down here. They're starting to smoke to try and drop down. Crusher gets knocked down in the process. But they wish they had a Twitch drone there to finish the job. But Blood and Glory gets 3. Just pushes his way in. Gets a 4K right there to end the round after that King Leo Beastly trade. Basically just mopped up everyone else on site. He walked right into sight. Look at this. Just walking right up to him. In fact, killing him all the way across there as well, using the hole that they used for smoke to shoot him, the actual smoke from across the room.
Right. I mean, that's one of the biggest dangers is by dropping out of meeting hall without even fighting the enemy team. They had to stack 4 people into that extremely confined area there. And with Glaz and the way the meta currently is, that entire room can be filled by 2 smoke grenades. And yeah, we saw what happened there. You can't squish too many people in there, because if you're not in that far corner where that mirror window is placed, your foot, your lower right leg, your calf actually, can be seen by Glaz when he's inside of the red hallway. And that's exactly what he did. He picked off Mira and went from there. I mean, just cleared through, walked in right through the smokes without the defenders being able to see him, and rapidly cleaned up. And again, we're seeing Infamy really catching a lot of steam here. I mean, we knew that this was kind of their map. This was one of Infamy's stronger maps to begin with. They're doing the double mirror window now.
Yeah, this is their first time defending this site, so that seems to be their strategy. They are playing an Echo, though, so they're definitely playing it differently than Roger Dodger did. I mean, they're winning, though, consistently, so I got to question whether Roger Dodger's going to make some serious adjustments after Infamy showing they could potentially defend both bomb sites, because this is looking good already, and that they can attack both bomb sites. So, I don't know. It's definitely looking good for them. I mean, they haven't had to attack the top floor yet, but if it's anything like the way they attacked the bottom floor, this is just looking really one-sided to me so far.
Right. I mean, it definitely seems like Infamy is far more comfortable on this team. We see over here the Glaz using a bit of a unique angle to hold nothing in particular. I mean, he's holding the upstairs rotate, but I don't think there's actually anyone playing upstairs on the defense side. And it might be a bit of wasted time. I mean, it's a good angle to hold and prevent that rotate, but might be a bit of a time delay. It's already a minute off the clock. The defenders haven't even interacted with the attackers yet, and they still have to come in and get hatches.
Looks like Trippin's at least working on that. They wanted to clear the meeting hall and come in from this side, but there we go, the nice flank. They didn't check the upstairs properly, and someone gets them from the top floor. It's Beastly just hanging out up there in the pulse. They know he's there now. He's obviously going to get caught out at some point, but he did some good damage, and he's really burning up their time at this point. There's Trippin, though, at half health, going to come and try and do something here, but can he swing around mid-repel? Or is he... Nope, he's just going to swing around to the other one. They're not getting Beastly out here. He's just burning up their time. Obviously, if they leave him there, he's going to come around and kill him. Yeah. It's a minute 15 left, and they haven't really made much progress towards actually attacking the site yet. Closest we have is King Leo getting Strata over there in the lobby. That's not going to do a whole lot here. If they aren't even prepared to open that hatch up yet, it's not like they can sledge it open. Santa at least made some progress on the top floor, but it's a little late for that. Still hasn't cleared out Beastly. He's just sitting here. He can come around from behind if they go to take it. It's not looking good at all for Roger Dodger. Alright, looks like they're gonna swing around. They've got the hatch open now. They're gonna start putting pressure on. They got 37 seconds left. They're gonna have to start making a play very soon here. They do have Trippin opening up the other hatches here in Meeting Hall, so the pressure is going to start coming down. Santa's going to be rotating around as well. He's now in the lobby looking to see if he can catch anyone down there. They have Echo Drone to delay if this plant comes down in the last minute, like it looks like it's going to. Trippin's going to start to go for that plant now that the smokes are down. Now the question is this Echo Drone in a good spot to be able to stop them? It is sitting right there. The question is, can it hit them? It does. It stops the plant. 12 seconds left. Doesn't even need to smoke. He can hit him once again. I like this angle here. He's just waiting for that right moment. Hits him again. Beastly takes down Leo in the meantime, and he's just going to keep hitting him with this Echo Drone, and that's going to stop at the last possible second. He's not going to get the plant down, and that will be more than enough to win it as Droner takes down Beastly. That Echo Drone, just beautiful. Can never get my microphone at the right volume level. Why are microphones so hard? Can't even do it properly when I'm in Pro League in Poland.
Yeah, again, this just seems to go back again for the second time that Infamy is so much more comfortable on this map. It just seems like Roger Dodger doesn't know what they're doing. The fact that a single player on the third floor of a watchtower, which, relatively speaking, doesn't really have a whole lot of rotation ability. He really only has a few paths, and those are relatively easily watched once you know he's there. And that alone slowed Roger Dodger down by a full minute as they completely left their original push, rotated outside, and then came back in. That is huge. It just doesn't seem like they know how to prioritize things right now, or maybe communication errors going on of what they want to do, how they want to take the round. And it's really, really starting to hurt them. And with that smoke echo combo after the echo buff to where any part of the body will interrupt the bomb plant, showed that they had a very easy round as defenders right there. The second it got down to the final 30 seconds, they already had the round guaranteed with that echo drone.
Yeah, I liked the placement of it. That's definitely something that worked out quite well because he was able to hit both spots they try and plant at, which was really the key because he switched spots trying to avoid the Echo Drone, and it just didn't work. And there was so much smoke, too, he wasn't going to be able to see it, which was nice because that smoke, backfired on him in that case, and so that was a great use of that drone.
Right, a lot of people, when they get hit by that Echo Drone, seem to immediately think it might be directly above them. But with that placement, the way that it is, allows them to have the drone completely concealed from anyone on the stairwell. You have to actually get to the table before you can see that Echo Drone. And from that, it's a very easy win. If you don't know the Echo Drone's there, they're going to get the round.
So Santa gets a kill in the meantime, though, from the attic window, and that's like the first good play that he's made so far. I'm interested, though. Oh, there we go, though. It is countered by Nifty. I'm interested, though. We saw Habana shooting into windows. Was that to take out the ADSs? Because it looked like it was.
Indeed it was. She actually used, because on this bomb site take, since it seems like they're going to be trying to go for kid's bedroom window here.
Second pick for Nifty.
Another pick by him. Good job. But yeah, since they're going for a push that doesn't really require Habana charges being used here, that's a great way to ensure that your Glaz gets all the smokes wherever he wants them.
Yeah. Oh, Beastly, though. I think that was his second pick here. It is all down to just Crusher left to defend this already. Still a full minute 25 left. He'd have more than enough control of the site. Now, those random sprays actually almost take Biologic down, but not enough to stop the plant. He's still going to be getting that little computer down, but a nice C4 kill, a good rotate by him, and a good kill on Glaz, but it doesn't matter. Beastly there to finish the job. And that was pretty close there, but it's already 5-0 GG. That's brutal play there by Infamy, just schooling Roger Dodger on how to play Oregon.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, after seeing that, I'm not so sure that we're gonna get to see the last map. We might not even get to see Clubhouse, which was the one map that I thought they may have had a bit of a 50-50 on. I mean, I kind of already expected Infamy again. Oregon has long been one of their strongest maps. So to see them kind of come back from that, I mean, it isn't huge, but it was also kind of concerning to see that Roger Dodger seemed to be frazzled in a way. Whenever something unexpected came up, a roamer on the third floor, or a push that might take a little bit too long one way or the other, even on the defense side where they all dropped down hatches without actually contesting the meeting room. If you're going to hold meeting room with hatches open, a lot of times that means those two players up there that you have placed there are going to be almost kind of suicidal players, where you're playing there in order to shut down the attackers, to delay time, and to get trade kills. And they didn't do any of that, and Infamy capitalized on it. So it'll be interesting to see if they'll change that in Border.
Well, we'll see pretty quickly here as we are starting on Border now. I mean, just based off of the way that they attacked and defended those other sites, I'm still favoring Border for sure towards the Infamy guys. I mean, just the way they played showed a lot more thought and coordination in terms of attacking these kind of sites, even using the vertical play. It's just, I don't know. I mean, we're going to have to see some really creative stuff here, I think, from Roger Dodger to make up for that 5-0 we just saw last map.
Absolutely. I mean, right now it just looks like it just looks like an experienced team playing against a team that's a little bit newer and has some basic communication issues. They don't seem to have a clear path on what they want to do every round.
Infamy does, though, starting down in Ventilation Room Workshop, which is a bit surprising. Generally see almost everyone starting upstairs. So hopefully this is something they have a good strategy for. I don't think a lot of teams do the whole secondary first thing. So generally, it is their primary that they start with. We just haven't seen the secondary in quite a while in terms of starting off that foot. So I think they have a plan for this, right? I mean, especially we've seen some great play from Strata on Pulse on the snap before. Like, he's a good Pulse on here. A lot of times upstairs playing in security room, for example, but now they're playing down. So I question, is he going to be playing upstairs here in that security room to guard it, maybe go out for a peek, or is he going to be playing downstairs and try and get like a C4? Up on anyone that might be pushing upstairs?
I would probably expect to see the Pulse playing downstairs inside of Customs, rotating between Customs and the small window in the wood wall, the window that faces.
This is mic level 1. Just testing mic levels here. This is mic level 1. Hopefully this will be the right one.
Oh yeah, you're clearer now.
All right.
But yeah, no, I mean, look, so it actually seems that Pulse is just going to play up here with his team. Now, the one thing that I'm going to be interested in is they might have actually caught Roger Dodger off guard here with that they don't have a Habana, which means at maximum they're only going to be grabbing 2 of those hatches, and they have to decide. Like, when you grab the Habana, you can do the hatches and you can take bathroom, or you can do the hatches and open up the armory wall so you can take armory. But with this, you have to pick and choose.
Oh, speaking of which, he almost picked Blood and Glory there. I like those long angles by Glaz on this map. He's going to open up some more through some of those walls as well. It's something we don't see a lot of teams doing that we saw Panda doing in the past too, was opening up a long angle just to the right of this, more east side, towards the B side, but we aren't seeing a lot of other teams doing that. But Glaz has some great long angles here. He's going to catch Strata as well. Just slow reaction time, failing to actually capitalize on it. I'm surprised they're playing 3-man upstairs, but I'm surprised even more so that all 5 are attacking upstairs. No one bothering with the downstairs, just letting them get a free pass on this. This is typically where we see teams losing 2 or 3 guys just trying to make the top work before they can even start to pressure downstairs.
Yeah, I mean, to see them having 3 people on the defense play upstairs is, I think, for the most part, fairly standard. You have the Mira small office, someone in half wall, and then someone over in the main office area.
Oh, there goes Blood and Glory.
The biggest aspect of this, and another pick from it, the biggest aspect from this is just the amount of time they've wasted here. It almost seems as if Roger Dodger doesn't even know that it's downstairs.
Trip in the meantime with a nice pinch around, though. They do finally take control of the top floor here. It looks like they might have cleared them all out, but only killing 1. The rest rotated back downstairs, which means now it's going to be a hard push downstairs. They didn't lose anyone on the upstairs. They didn't take any damage, so I'll give them that. But 56 seconds left is not looking great, and like you said, they can't open the hatches very easily because they're going to have to use thermite to do it. They do get 1 open at least, but that looks like that might have been with an Ash Breach charge. I guess it wasn't reinforced. Looks like 3 men left downstairs. Over here, where's that last guy? We should have 4 men.
No, there are 3.
There are 3.
Mira
That's
died,
right.
Mira died earlier
too.
when the thermite pushed from behind into the small office.
That's right. It was a good kill there too with a nice flank. Beastly not going to be able to bandit trick or deny from over here. That is going to get open. That's where we see one of those thermite charges being used. Now they can put some pressure on here. Unfortunately, Santa on the opposite side not going to do anything with Strata though. Already getting 2 kills out. And that's the Strata we know and love. With nice, easy kills. He's ready to peek out, but gets peeked himself by tripping. The Thermite with another kill here, but it's all down to Thermite and Glaz here. Now, as I say that, Thermite falls, and Glaz trying to get in too close a combat against Biologic. And that is another win on the board there for the Infamy guys. Looking strong on border as well now. Bummer.
Right, I mean, Strata ended up moving to the location where we thought he would end up playing in the end there, and after they managed to delay for so long upstairs, delaying for 2 minutes upstairs is monumental. And then with Strata being able to rotate down through customs, once the attackers realize, hey, we either drop down through a hatch into a snake den, essentially, with all the barbed wire and smokes, or they have to rotate down, take bathroom, or take in from the front, and they chose to take from the front door, which Strata, once again, played it perfectly, jumped outside, grabbed 2 kills, and put the defenders in the position to win the round. Great play by him. Yeah,
I mean, it was definitely a clutch play in terms of whittling down their numbers very quickly when they were in a high-pressure situation, and that forced, like, for example, Glaz in when he didn't need to be, because he didn't have anyone left except for that Thermite to help cover him. So things like that definitely matter, and that's where the time management really comes into play, right? Because had they not burned up so much time upstairs, they wouldn't have been such a panic rush downstairs, and Strata wouldn't have got such easy picks.
Absolutely agree. And it's also somewhat odd to have seen the Glaz pushing solo on the B window, whereas most teams are actually running the Glaz in the bathroom, having the Thermite and the Glaz alternating their smokes, or even just dumping all of them, and having the Glaz have a very easy time, because you have a full sight line from the bathroom into the entire downstairs server room and ventilation room. So to see him have himself stuck outside of a window seems like a little bit of the waste of Glaz's potential.
Let's see. It looks like both mirror windows have been used, but I only see the one over here on the wall. Let's see where they put the other one. Oh, there we go. They're going to have Trippin watching the offices. And interestingly enough, he's opened the wall. Like, just straight up left it open, and the drop down. So it'll be interesting to see if anyone's even going to try and play for the offices. Looks like they're instead more concerned about security and pushing this A wall. No surprise there. Looks like we've got even maybe the Ash going downstairs to do the typical attack from below that we see. There we go. We hear it right there. Trying to take out any batteries that might be up there. Now let's see if the Bandit has any batteries left to try and do anything about it. He is down to 1 battery left. I don't think it's going to do a whole lot of good, though. But he's looking to pick anyone he can through the hatches. This guy's playing in the typical Blackbeard position. Playing the AC unit. Something we've seen a lot of teams do. You know, if they don't bring the Blackbeard, they have the Glaz play there instead, just because of the nice angles that you get. And the ability to shoot diagonally through the wall is pretty strong here, just to his right there, which he's going to do right now. And that opens up a ton of the A site to be able to shoot easily, especially if you start smoking in. It looks like they're not even contesting him.
When that's not if that wall isn't reinforced, it allows the Glaz a ton of freedom in order to shut down rotations and even players playing inside of the small office.
Looks like Santa's going to be in here trying to contest them pushing security, but they're spending a lot of time trying to catch him out. However, those grenades are going to help a little bit, but he's just holding this angle hard. Does catch Strat off guard with a nice kill there, but gets traded by Beastly, so it doesn't really matter too much in the end as they now have full control of the security office. Thatcher's doing his thing, trying to help open up that wall. Not that Strat didn't do his thing from below as well, but they're having a heck of time still. There's still a minute left, but they are down one player on either side. Habang going to start opening up that wall, force Mirror to do some defending over here. Trying to pre-spray, almost catches Beastly, but now those little squids jump right on his face. Now he's going to have to try and catch Beastly with a different angle. Does a little bit, but not enough to finish the job, and that's going to cost him here because the pressure comes down from a different side as Glaz pushes his way in, takes down one, but gets killed and traded off by Droner, who was ready for it a little bit with the heartbeat sensor. Might have been better to do a little sooner here, but it is now a 3v3, 30 seconds left. Push starting to come in here. Beastly going to be leading the way through... And it looks at two of them, and unfortunately couldn't choose which one to shoot. The nice drop shot there from Biologic, taking down King Leo. And he's pushing his way in, spraying with that SMG. Switches to his rifle, but does get taken out by Trippin's SMG. It is all down to Droner to finish off Nifty, and that's it. That is the first loss round we've seen for Infamy. Looking like they were a little desperate in that last minute, partially due to Santa holding that security office. So, at least there's that for Roger Dodger so far. So unfortunately, it sounds like might be missing out some of my microphone cutting out occasionally on Skype.
Yeah, truth be told, I haven't heard you for the last 2 minutes.
Oh, well, that's probably for the best. Let's see, make sure I'm not muted there. Skype's so crazy. That should be good. I'll reset it. Hopefully you can hear me now.
Right, yeah, no, it definitely
Okay.
can. A bit of an interesting thing. Definitely thought that was going to be leaning a little bit more towards Infamy there, but with a little bit of the key picks, it just kind of turned into gunfights at the end there. We saw a little bit of over-aggression from the Sledge as he peeked wide rather than peeking a bit of a like angle by angle. He definitely swung wide and ended up exposing himself to two players at once and lost him the gun battle.
Now this is Infamy's first time upstairs, so the question is, are they going to set it up pretty similar to how the Roger Dodger guys did? Like, for example, a window on this wall, or is it going to be more the traditional window on this wall and defending from there? Because it looks like they only reinforced one side, which says to me that they're going to put the window on there, and there's Nifty doing so right now, and then shoot through. But they haven't reinforced this wall at all yet. The attacker said they didn't bring Habana either, something we were talking about before. It's just bringing just the Thermite, not Habana. Might not matter as much on this site, though, because typically you want to get just this wall, right? Ooh, looks like Nifty, though, in the meantime, opening up kill holes in it. Instead, taking advantage of that utility shotgun. Can you still hear my mic okay, Morse? Let's see. Remorse!
I think it's a more of a internet connection type thing. Kind of,
Yeah.
you know, like when a microphone is cutting out while you're talking,
Yeah.
like the network type stuff, how it sounds. It just kind of gets quiet.
Unfortunately, like, I just moved into a new apartment and I'm on Wi-Fi, and I'm sure the Wi-Fi is getting a little taxed by doing both screen sharing and the this. But
right.
I need a LAN setup or a cable setup soon. So.
Well, no problem. Well, I guess regardless, what this setup is that they're doing here is a pretty standard thing. They have two people inside of the security office, and then have two people inside of armory, one person inside of office. This is all about delay. This is all about slowing down the attackers, which seems to be
working.
it seems to be working here. I mean, that's one of the biggest strengths of this kind of hold is you heavily weigh in here, and the attackers have to dedicate a lot of forces over here, and they can't come around their north side of this room at all due to the fact that the wall is open. So it's not a safe place for them to go.
But there's Strata taking down one to start with. That's a good pick there for the Pulse coming out. Oh, he's gonna get him. Oh, doesn't get the drop shot. Crusher actually finishing him off as Santa finishes off Beastly. It's actually looking pretty good for the attackers here. Just losing the Thatcher, which they don't need at this point, potentially. As it looks like he's going to get that open just fine. He had a drone attached to his hand somehow. Oh, it looks like they actually managed to C4 the Thermite charge. He still has one left, but that was an interesting tactic. Did manage to work. Now, a lot of the smoke. He's worried about people behind that half wall at this point, which no one is, so it actually kind of not working out for him. Another smoke going to go down potentially here from Droner. Nope, does get caught by an ADS, I think. There's some more smoke. And he's going to just blow that wall right off. Looks like Santa watching it as well. Going to try and help Trip and push in here. He's going to start the plant, but he's easily taken down from behind, but not finished off for some reason. And that is going to be Glaz trying to stop him. Biologic takes down 2, though, and that is a nice double kill here for the bandit behind the half wall. Just jumping out at just the right time. Santa going to be trying to do something about it here, but not quite catching him. Sees him for just a second and then shoots him to see his head knock right back. He's got to try and go for this diffuser plant now. Now Nifty hears the electricity, goes off, sees him, clears day, sprays right through the wall. Easy double kill there to end the round. Nifty doing it quite well through that wall. They just got so stalled out pushing that. Just could not do anything. I'm going to go ahead and reconnect you and see if that helps.
Yeah, that might. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. The connection speed between you two is medium. All right.
Medium.
Awesome.
Mediocre.
Medium.
All right,
But anyways, yeah, no, that Mira play, that just goes to show the strength of having that Mira in the small office. It is by far the most popular option in how teams are holding that Mira. No matter what the strategy is, most teams actually end up running the Mira in that small office because it completely shuts down any kind of plant attempt inside of that armory. So it doesn't matter, even if they blow the wall, which is why they actually left it unreinforced, it doesn't matter. Because even if they blow it, they don't lose anything by it. They don't lose anything by that wall being open because the Mira is just going to shut down any actual attempt of the opposing team trying to get a plant in.
And that's something we've seen in Pro League as well. It's a pretty typical play. That's why it's better in small office than putting it on that A wall from what we see here. Especially since last time when they put it on the A wall, the Hibana just made short work of it once there's no batteries on it. Because it's not like it's hard to bring a Thatcher. But this is the first time we're seeing them defend this site, so it should be interesting.
Should be interesting and to see how much pressure they're going to put upstairs with only one person being downstairs right now. I would assume that we're going to see someone rotate through the hatch. Yep, there we go. Come down and rotate through the hatch.
We'll see how aggressively they push this top floor. I do hope to see them just straight up attack the bottom floor. I've said it time and time again because I think it generally works better. I have rarely seen that fail. If you just straight up attack the bottom floor with all the 3 left up top and just watch your back, it generally takes the site much faster, and that workshop actually gives you a lot of room to play in and defend against people dropping down the hatch, and they almost always have to drop down hatches, which you can guard against. So I don't know, I personally prefer that attack, and it looks like that's what they're going for. I think this is going to lean in Infamy's favor because they're not going to spend 2 minutes upstairs just sticking around with the defenders. And you see Crusher already falling. He must something dumb must have happened with the LeMayo there.
I think he C4'd himself.
Oh, that's always nice.
I think no, he C4'd himself. Well, that's
Oh, well, he's spotted here now for sure, down to half health. They're going to push him, but he managed to rotate his way out. The attack's just falling full force here on the site, and there's still 3 people upstairs not doing anything. This is exactly what I'm talking about right here. They're just ready to get crushed, but they need to make this attack start soon. Otherwise, this kind of strategy doesn't work unless you start getting in there before the defenders can rotate fully down.
Now, this is what I'm talking about with the Glaz. This huge sight line and the ability to just walk right into the site should prove absolutely fatal to Roger Dodger here.
He really needs to start getting some kills, though. He's taking a lot of time, but that diffuser coming out is going to start to bait them out a little bit. Give Glaz his chance to get some kills. Does see one. There goes Droner. He's taken down. Strata takes down Crusher. And here goes one more. Easy kills. Somehow Glaz whiffs enough shots, but still downs him in the end, and that's all that matters. And he goes for the knife kill, but Jaeger's hanging out there. Didn't expect Santa around the corner, but he came to town on Blood and Glory. Now it is all down to 3v3. But the diffuser's down. Santa with a nice, or Strata with a nice kill across the way. Nifty and Blood Glory with an easy finish, and that is why I like that attack, for exactly that reason right there.
Yep, it absolutely put them in a hard place, and one of the ways to shut down that attack, which I didn't actually see them use, is more often than not, you're going to want to have that office hatch open. Because if that office hatch isn't open, that means the only way that the defenders can possibly rotate to shut that down is to drop straight into the lobby. which is extremely dangerous, not only due to the sound cues, but the fact that there's very little cover in that area. Whereas if they were to drop into the teller's office, they can get in there, or even more so, they can actually start shooting the attackers from there above, and it would hopefully have a better result of that. And I can only imagine that possibly C4ing himself may have been a little bit better to not start out with like 58.
I think that messed up a little bit of their defense with only 2 men down there and one of them C4ing himself. Yeah, I mean, like you said though, they had the chance to use those angles up there, and they just didn't do so. I mean, they pretty much left the men downstairs to fend for themselves against Glaz, and that was not a good plan for success. And so that's why it's already 3-1 here. Infamy looking like they could take this a clean 10-1 sweep potentially. This is just not looking great for Roger Dodger at all. They are making a little bit of change up. They're bringing a Twitch this time on this attack, now that they know it's downstairs, because last time they thought it was going to be upstairs because they thought that was the primary site to defend, but because it was the first round. But now they're bringing a Twitch because obviously that's more their attack strat for down here. Like you said about the hatches, right? Because they didn't have the Hibana last time and stuff like that. Now they have the Hibana to be able to open those up. I imagine they're a little more prepared. This may go a little bit more in Roger Dodger's favor than the first round did. Hopefully I'm not completely cutting out again.
Yeah, a little bit.
God bless Skype. Maybe I can turn the quality down or something. Probably not.
It doesn't seem to be microphone related. It seems rather...
I swear in the future we'll just start using Google Hangouts to write this is good. God bless. Well, anyways, in the meantime, I'll let you talk for a bit about what you think's going to happen this round while I check the settings.
Into a Discord and I can hear you talk still.
That's a good point.
I don't think you're cut out then. It might actually work.
Yeah, good idea. Just send me the Discord link to join and I'll join you.
Skype seems to be a little bit difficult right now.
All right, let's see. Alrighty, whoops.
Alrighty.
Hopefully, can you hear me now?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, double. Can meet you here. That's weird. Alright, anyways, that should be better.
Significantly.
Alrighty. So, it's already 2 minutes around and nothing's happened. I guess we lucked out on that one.
Yeah.
So, these guys just taking forever to get their attack going here. I have a weird echo on you now. That's strange.
Oh, good. Okay, there we go. It's fixed.
All right, cool. So, still nothing happened really. I missed C4 other than that. Just nothing happening for minutes on end. It is 45 seconds left into the round here. Someone's going to have to start doing something soon. Blood and Glory going to be the man to start it off here with a good kill there. Looks like from Jaeger against that Sledge. Good start. He was actually roaming up top. They're definitely not prepared for that, it looks like, because they're focused on the downstairs. Looks like Trippin actually making some progress in here. Walks right up to Rook. Biologic catching him off guard, but Nifty there to trade it. Droner going to try and push his way in as well. Let's actually go down here at Santa. In the meantime, getting killed. And Beastly, he's going to have to reinforce his team here, though, as Nifty just walks right up to him. Sees his elbow, can't land the shots, but then he comes around the corner, kills himself, offers him up sacrifice here. Now the enemy running outside here, trying to get something going on. Strata going to have to clutch this. Looks like Biologic as well. He's stuck. Or Blood and Glory, sorry. He doesn't have a hatch to drop down like he was hoping. He's going to have to drop down the inferior one. This is what I was talking about the problems with being stuck upstairs, is you have to drop down a hatch like this, because coming down the long way like Strata is takes forever. And Santa's just looking right at it. That's exactly what I mean. You get trapped upstairs, and they're not using any angles from up there because they planted in the other room. Blood and Glory did manage to get his way down. Nifty finishing off Trippy, I think that was from a bleed out. But he's not looking at the ACOG there, covering up his scope, and Santa getting a kill. That is another round on the board. It's looking a little better for the Roger Dodger guys, managing to pick that one up at least.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely saw a lot of strength coming from Glaz there with his ability to see the elbow of a player and allowing them to grab a kill off of that. Being able to see through that very small hole and having it light up is definitely a great strength of Glass. Now, initially that round seemed like a worse round one from them. It seemed like they lost, like less defenders ended up dying, and the attackers wasted more time and then resulted to the same exact push. However, it seems that this time, rather than have the Glass be on the B window, they went ahead and just sent the Glass into the other site and allowed him to single-handedly clear the entirety of the downstairs through smoke. And I did definitely better playing of the Glass there, using his strengths.
I mean, that was a surprising turn, though, because they wasted almost the entire round upstairs and clearing it and messing around downstairs, and then just barely winning it by planting in the off site. Usually people don't plant on that side, and I think that's kind of what threw off the defense. And then just winning some of those dumb firefights, like pushing right up into Rook, for example. It just somehow worked out for them, just barely. But that was kind of like one of those, like, almost lucky wins in a way, catching them off guard. I don't expect to see repeated.
Right, it does. I mean, the defenders had everything about that round. They had 1 minute left in the clock and had the entire team left. They hadn't taken the upstairs, and everything was in the hands of the defenders at that point. And it just seems like they ended up putting them in a lot of situations that the attackers could take advantage of. Like the misplay by Mira, allowing her elbow to be seen through the tiny little sliver in the wall and be lit up for the Glass to shoot it and down her. It definitely one of the larger issues, I guess, with that hold there, and could have had different results if she didn't let her elbow be seen through the tiny bullet hole on the side of the wall.
Well,
so
that rotating afterwards, right?
There for taking advantage of that.
Yeah. Oh, it sounds like some people are having stream problems. Hopefully it's okay now. It might have been just during the switch up to the Discord. So they are bringing a Buck this time. That's a little bit different. Strata going to be on that instead of Ash, deciding maybe he wants to open up more of the floor than just 2 holes. So that should be interesting to see if this plays out. He's checking with the drone first for himself, and then going to easily come around and make short work of those Bandit batteries potentially. Poor Bandit.
Right, I would expect to see him just enter straight through that wood wall and then move on over into ventilation room and try and get a couple picks off. Hopefully he'll be able to do so in the next 20 seconds, or else I don't really see them. Yeah. There we go.
Beastly already taking down the mirror. This is a good start for this attack here, as that is now down to Droner, and he's a pulse in there. Usually not the aggressive defender you want in there. You usually want a smoke or someone a little faster than a pulse, but you know, he's got a C4 left. He could potentially hold this. The ADS just saving his life there, but Buck opening up his feet now. Gonna make this hard for him. He doesn't have any kind of reinforcements or holes in that wall, and they could just easily wallbang through it here and just punch him if they decide to do so. But it looks like he's just using that for intel, but it's not like, you should at least reinforce it next time. Tripping though, punishing one downstairs, and there we go. There's the wallbang from Glaz this time, or actually from behind. So that's what I mean about that angle.
Exactly, which is exactly what we were talking about. If they don't reinforce that one wall, it allows them to see from the outside, through the B site, through the A site, into the small office where players constantly hold positions in.
Oh, nice job by King Leo there, not getting flashbanged, and then actually getting the kill on him as he pushed aggressively in, thinking the flashbang did his job. Flashbang's there, a little untrustworthy. He whips around just in time to see his teammate kill Glass, and then Santa finishing off Nifty is actually looking really good for the defenders as he just about takes Beastly down, and then Madman there, Santa finishing the job. That was actually another win on the board, bringing it to 3-3 now. It's actually tied up, surprisingly. So that was a much better defense that time than we saw, although that also could have just been down to somewhat of a sloppy attack as well.
Right, I mean, it seems, it almost to me seems that, I mean, look at this. Look at this. He's 11-4 right now. That, I feel, has a certain extent. I feel like some of this may be where Infamy might have just been caught off guard, got a little frazzled. They lost the one round that was in their favor, and then they lost that second round, which started out in their favor. Getting that Mira pick early on is pretty huge, and it just maybe I would say they might just seem a little bit caught off guard by that.
Yeah.
So I would expect to see them recover a little bit because they were so strong in those first few rounds, and to have them end up losing rounds in the way that they have doesn't seem to be too characteristic.
Well, I mean, now we're seeing a lot of repeating, right? They're going to be playing the same defensive sites, the same attack strats, and things like that. So this is where we're going to have to start to see actual adjustments. There's not going to be as many surprises anymore. Generally, this is usually just the adjustment phase, whereas a lot of teams, you know, because they don't have like a big secret strat they're going to pull out a lot of the time. It's more just going to be, okay, now that we've felt out both sides, it's 3-3. Now's the time where we just figure out where's the holes in what we did, so we can adjust it accordingly. You see, for example, a similar defense here, as we were talking about that wall before, and he's going to do the same thing because it worked, right? So he's going to just adjust off of that, and then you're going to have what I was talking about before with Strata playing in the security office with this door open that's worked so good in the past, and then Beastly playing that delay. So they're just refining what they were doing before and trying to play it even stronger. Although it looks like they could go for an office attack here, which is definitely going to be a change-up. So this is a smart adaptation here by Roger Dodger, realizing that a lot of the defense goes into the A side and not a lot on the B side, but they do still have a mirror window here for Blood and Glory to use, and then Biologic playing around can rotate as well. So this may not work out as well as they're hoping.
Yeah, I'm excited to see that Roger Dodger is adapting to these kinds of things. Whereas in the last game that they just played on Oregon, they seemed to not have a sense in the world of what they wanted to do.
Looks like they're actually playing this smart, though, not just rushing it. They want to get a sense of what they're doing first, but this is also giving a chance for Infamy to start to adjust and rotate their defenders if they give them too much time to make this attack, right? The element of surprise is lost, especially as you start droning like that. Biologic's going to see that drone and know, oh, hey, they're maybe going for a push over on this side. Nifty, turn around and help us over here. So they might have played too much time on this.
Right, I mean, we're down to a minute and a half. We're on a full time. Essentially, the longer the clock goes on without any defenders dying, the better chance of the defenders are going to win. And with no one playing downstairs and you have a pulse below, that spells failure. That spells catastrophic failure to me, because if they don't take care of this pulse is going to kill the planter.
Oh, so close too.
He does that.
Oh, but then in the meantime, though, Glaz is going to get a kill of his own on the Blood and Glory. And then Nifty taking down Crusher on a trade, but then King Leo trades it on to Biologic, and Glaz gets knocked down. Starting to fall apart here. It looks like Strata there able to finish the job. And so is with C4 working out after all, giving him a nice hold there. And there's the planters you're talking about. That's what happens when you leave a pulse unchecked, and that's why Strata can be so good here. He does see that. He doesn't need his heartbeat sensor to see those feet, but he's going to double check where the position's at now. Wait for that to stop moving, because they got to get that diffuser, and he knows that. He's just waiting for them to go over there. And Nifty there up there finishing the job because he had the chance to adjust his position because they took so long on that attack. He was ready to attack them, attacking from that side, not worried about the A side anymore. And it came down to timing, really, and Pulse obviously being left unchecked with all that timing just worked out in his favor.
Right. I mean, absolutely. It just goes to show what happens when I like that they attempted something different, but to a certain extent, it almost seemed half-baked in that they went for the upstairs push, but totally disregarded the fact that they have been running a pulse every single defense round. And then further, they didn't have a drone downstairs to watch it, which just let the pulse free roam. Now the pulse almost got away with it with the missed C4, but his teammate working together with Nifty were able to trade out the glass and were able to just hold that perfectly.
And most importantly, he was able to shoot the diffuser in the feet, right? That really blew their attack all to hell.
Right, by leaving a pulse downstairs, you can no longer plant at all, because all of the floor is destructible, with the exception of the floor directly in front of the window. But thankfully, the Mira was who was watching right in front of the window, so they couldn't plant there either.
Not to mention, even if you do plant there, there's probably some angles you can still use through the floor that will work just as well and hit you in the head. So, like, it's like trying to play on a consulate upstairs as well with a pulse downstairs. It's just, you just can't get away with it. But they're trying to do the same thing here. They're going to have pulse downstairs, but this is not for the downstairs plant. He's all alone. And this is not looking good because they... Oh, okay, there's... That light rotate.
Yeah,
so,
he's been dropping dropping later on in the round.
So this is match point, though. Castles. So if Infamy win this next round, which, you know, there's a good chance they could, then they take home the win, and they go first place into Pro League from this. So it's looking like there's a good chance that could happen.
I would expect to see Infamy walk the glass through bathroom and just clear out the entire bomb site. That's what I would expect to see here. Although Infamy is a bit of an aggressive team, they take gunfights constantly, and that might, to a certain extent, be their downfall. If they're too aggressive here, without putting their glass in the little bubble protection zone that is his smoke grenades, they might waste his potential. Because while this guy's AFK here, or not AFK, but on a camera, what they really need to do is get Glaz into this bomb site here.
I like what they're trying to do here using the door crack as well. And there's the smoke starting to come out like you were talking about. They got the wall open there. Smokes are out. Strata, in the meantime, taking down one. That's a good start. The Ash taking down that Pulse, so that you're not going to have that extra information. The site's starting to fall. The people trapped upstairs again. You do see one rotating downstairs. It looks like Santa might have come downstairs. He's hiding in the bathroom here. Could be the one that saves the day, but Biologic catches him out. And so now the Glaz knows where he's at. More smokes coming out, the last two. And that's going to give him that circle of protection you're talking about. He's just going to push his way in, maybe a little prematurely, but it works. Now he's just pushed in solid here. Minute 14 left, and it is a 5v4 on match point here. If they could start toppling some of these defenders, it's all going to fall apart, and the last few are going to be stuck upstairs. It is down to this castle here to try and stop this Glaz, but he's not in a position to as Glaz takes down one more, and that is Santa taken down. That was the guy who was going to be that flank, but because he droned him out in that bathroom, he was trapped in there at that point because of the castle barricade. Now Beastly in the meantime getting in a gunfight with one, but takes him down, and that's tripping. Now the plant's starting to come down. It is a 4v2. It looks like Droner's position has been caught out. Shooting a dead body doesn't help, but there we go. The smokes, or the ADS is stopping some grenades, but it doesn't matter. Doesn't stop Glaz's bullet. King Leo, though, dropping to save the day, stopping them from being able to guard the diffuser, but the diffuser was already deplanted. Now he's got to find this last one, Strata. It's all him versus Strata, and Strata coming around here just needs to find King Leo, and he has a lot more health, and the shots easily come down, and that is GG. That is Infamy taking it home. They are now first place out of Challenger League, going in hard to Pro League, and that's something they're familiar with. This is a team that was former Xbox Pro League players, so much like Elevate, we're seeing Xbox saying, hey man, it doesn't matter what platform you're on, good is good.
Right. I mean, and once again, we saw there, I mean, as we've seen with this most recent patch, Glaz with the DMR is now by far the best CQC entry fragger in the game, allowing him to bypass all of the angles that the defenders had set up. They just filled the entire room with smoke, had Glaz crawl his way in, and then had him take out the one person who is essentially the keystone. Once you lose your person in bathroom, that means there's no pressure from that side. That means the attackers no longer have to worry about anything, because that's castled off, which is a 4-second pull down. Or maybe like a 2. I mean, is it 2 or 3? Well, regardless.
Either way, he wasn't going to do it.
Second pull down. And it's once they take out the guy playing inside a bathroom, they can throw all of their attention to the hatch and to the other side of the bomb site. Essentially, everyone can face the same direction rather than have to split your attention. And we saw that it worked out extremely well. I mean, Infamy, absolutely the stronger team. And I do have to wonder if part of that is because Roger Dodger just kind of already knew that they weren't going to be running that roster anymore. And they might just have not cared as much, because it seems uncharacteristic for Roger Dodger to, I guess, perform so poorly in a sense. Because they were a very strong team at the start of the season. Maybe
that's why the two people are leaving, or maybe their heart wasn't in it because they're ready to peace out. They're not. I mean, if you are playing a game to go into Pro League and you're not going to be actually going to Pro League, maybe your heart's not in it. You know, I can't say I'm surprised in that sense, knowing that might be the case, that they're just not going to be full tilt compared to Infamy that have been to Pro League, that know what it's like, to be there and want to be back there, working extra hard. I mean, 5-0ing on Oregon, they are playing like to the full of their ability. They, whereas it seems like Roger Dodger, they don't have their org. They're kind of figuring stuff out. They're dropping some people maybe. It's just they still get second place, right? And they still get a chance to they have a couple weeks to figure stuff out without having to play relegations, to try and do some scrims to get their roster together. And I mean, we'll see them in Pro League. Obviously, we won't be necessarily casting that, but we'll see them in Pro League I think we will be casting relegations though. I'm not 100% sure. Still trying to figure out whether or not Poland will be casting relegations or we will. But we will still see some of the Challenger League teams there against the Pro League teams, and that should be interesting. So hopefully that's something maybe you can join me for, depending on what the gods will.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We shall see. When is that actually?
I don't even even if I could remember, I don't want to say because I'm probably just going to be wrong because they're going to change it anyways or something. I don't know.
This says
Hard
May
to say.
2nd, which was
In the past.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's not happening.
That's
Anyways,
Love it.
stay tuned for that, I guess. So, anyways, that was the only Challenger League match we have for tonight. That was the finals. There was one rescheduled. That was for the other match, which was Lunatic versus Evolution. That being rescheduled, I don't know till when. They are still trying to figure that out. There was a lot of last-minute shuffling today, and we weren't even sure if this game was going to happen. So I appreciate you jumping in at the last second, Remorse, and actually being on top of that to come in, and you got the okay so we could actually do this, which was cool. So it was definitely fun. I'm glad you're able to join. Hopefully you can do so more in the future if you can get the okay to do so, because it seems to work pretty well. So maybe Challenger League Season 2. We'll see.
We shall see.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun, though. Thanks for having me again.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for coming in. With that said, we're going to peace out now, and I'm just going to go ahead and host whoever's on a cool. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. This was the last week of Challenger League. I don't know if there was any chance I will be casting or not on the reschedule one. It's always hard to do so because they sometimes reschedule it to funky times. If so, I'll tweet it out, so make sure to follow me on Twitter. If Remorse is available, I'll see if he can join in for that. If not, whatever, we'll do what we can, and then hopefully at least maybe see you guys for relegations. If not, then probably Season 2. Hopefully I will be at Finals. Not sure. I haven't heard anything about that yet, so not exactly sure how that's going to go down. But I appreciate everyone tuning in for these 7 weeks. It's been a long, interesting 7 weeks, to say the least, of some awesome Challenger League, and I'm glad this format exists now. Still going through some bumps and whatnot, but it is a cool thing to have in addition to the Pro League having this semi-pro league. I hope your experience of it has been mostly positive, Remorse, having played in it, giving you a chance to do something when you're not in a Pro League. So
Yeah. Well, hopefully we'll get back to that, but regardless,
one can hope.
Until then, I do enjoy this a lot, so
yeah, it's cool. So, like I said, with that said, I think we're going to peace out here. Looks like I had a donation, so I'll give a shout out for that in the chat because it's not loading for me on here. So I think that was Snaka. I appreciate that, Snaka. All that help definitely helps. So I will catch you guys later. We'll host someone, so stay tuned for that. Don't tune out until the hosting kicks in to see if you want to watch them. And we'll see you guys later.